Let me on the camera. Hi Rajesh.
Hey, Jackie.
Hi Rian.
Hey, Jackie.
How are you?
Yeah, good.
Okay.
Good to see all our Mules of ambassadors, expertise into the one room. Say full colorful, awesome, Jackie. Good.
Yeah. First to bring everyone together. Yeah.
Yeah.
All the ambassadors to they on their camera at least. All the speakers of this particular meetup to on their camera. Okay. So let me start the recording, and I will start sharing my screen. Just let me know once you can see my screen.
Yes.
Okay. So guys, welcome to Surat MuleSoft Meetup 50. So we are celebrating our 50 MuleSoft Meetup. Okay, we are 50, and by 2000 mid of 2022 we have reached to 50th meetup. And for today's meetup, we have invited a MuleSoft expert, or you can call MuleSoft ambassador, from various regions. And the topic for today's session is Ask the MuleSoft ambassador. And yours will also give a session on CloudHub 2.0 overview and the architecture. Before I start with the session, so I will just go through the safe harbor statement. Both the speaker and host are organizing this meetup in the individual capacity. We are organization here. The presentation is strictly for learning purpose, and we are not holding any responsibility whether this particular solution or will work for your business requirement. This presentation is not meant for any promotional activity. So recording of this meetup will be uploaded to the event page within 24 hours. Generally, we do it quicker. You can ask the question at any time. So today you can ask any question to any of expert, a MuleSoft expert. And finally, we want the feedback from you so we can do the better in the future. So this is what we are doing. Like, we are celebrating our 50th MuleSoft Meetup. On the occasion of 50th MuleSoft Meetup, we have invited all the MuleSoft ambassador, or we can call this as a MuleSoft experts. So myself, like, we have a Sudhir Kulkarni, a CTO. We have a Rehan, he's an associate manager at Capgemini. Then we have a Mary Joy Sabal, she's a solution architect at DXC Technology. Then we have Francis Edwards, who is a senior software engineer at Saint Gobain. We have a D. Rajesh Kumar, who's a senior MuleSoft architect at TCS. Then we have a Yos, senior manager at Cognizant. We have a Abhishek Batwal, associate solution architect at APS Aero. Then Ravi Tawada, who is the MuleSoft architect at a Capgemini, basically, right? So these are all MuleSoft ambassadors, and today, we will be having the interactive session with them, basically. So agenda. So we will go through introduction. Then we will have some interview with MuleSoft ambassador. Then we will talk about CloudHub 2.0. Then finally trivia quiz. So today we decided to select 5 winners basically for this particular trivia quiz. Then there is a wrap up. So I will just skip my introduction for now. So Nitish, would you like to introduce yourself for this particular meetup? Okay, so I think Nitish is not here. So yeah, so now we will go go for the ambassador introduction. So first we have D. Rajesh Kumar. So Rajesh, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. Thanks, Jackie. Hi, everyone. First thing is, I would like to thanks to Jockey for organizing, getting together all our ambassador experts into this meetup. It looks so colorful, and thanks for the opportunity, Jockey. And myself, Rajesh Kumar, I am a lead architect in TCS, and I have around 17 years of experience. From last to 8+ experience, 8+ years, I was working on the MuleSoft technology, where I started as a developer or a designer, architect, and consulting pre-sales. I play multiple roles in the within MuleSoft practice within TCS. And I got a good opportunity to work on the different deployment topologies, including on the hybrid on-premise PCF, and cloud. And apart from that, of course, I'm a MuleSoft ambassador. I was very active in the meetup from in the community for more than 8 years. and I'm also certified from the GTM and the delivery champion. Yeah, thank you.
Rajesh is the oldest MuleSoft community person. I think initially we have something called MuleSoft Champion program. So I think Rajesh is a MuleSoft champion also. And now I think he's one of the oldest MuleSoft ambassador also. Yeah. Thanks, Rajesh.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Jackie. Thank you
So much for accepting this particular opportunity to to be part of this particular 50th MuleSoft meetup. Yeah, Rian.
Thank you.
So next our MuleSoft ambassador is Rian. So he's also one of the oldest MuleSoft ambassador and oldest community community member. So yeah.
So hi everyone. Good afternoon. Good evening or good morning wherever you are. So just to introduce myself, so I'm Ryan Andal. So I'm currently working as an associate manager at Capgemini Australia. Currently, I do have 10 years of IT experience, which I do have almost 6 years uh, using MuleSoft technology. And currently, I'm one of the MuleSoft ambassador, and I'm also a meetup leader in Manila, Philippines, and also in Brisbane, Australia, where I'm currently based at. And currently, as part of my role, I'm doing some mentorship to my team, and also I'm doing some development and architecture to MuleSoft projects. So I'm MuleSoft certified integration and platform architect, and also MuleSoft certified developer level one. And besides MuleSoft certifications, I do have AWS architect, TOGAF 9 certified, and also Azure certifications. Yeah, thanks, Jackie.
Thanks, Rian, for accepting the opportunity to talk on in this particular MuleSoft meetup. So thank you so much. And if you're aware, like Rian has written a lot of blogs, and he's one of the oldest MuleSoft community member and the ambassador, basically, right, Rian?
Yeah. Thank you.
I will go to yours. So yours, now you can introduce yourself.
Okay, hello everybody. This is José Ramón Huerga. So in my case, I've been collaborating as Mules ambassador recently. I started around 1 year and a half, more or less. So I had been doing projects with Lotus integration technologies, and I started working with Mules in the last 4 years, more or less. So I'm doing together with Flavio Natal, the meetup group of Barcelona. In this case, for Barcelona, we have only give around 8 meetups. We started about this 1 year and a half, more or less. And yeah, I also won the distinct certifications, like architect, the developer, also the delivery champion, go to market. Well, thank you, Jackie, for this opportunity.
Yeah, so like yours has already given a lot of session in the Surat, and those sessions are very high quality, and we got a lot of good feedback for those sessions. Thank you, Josh, for that, and for accepting this particular opportunity to speak in this particular meetup.
Okay, thank you.
So Francis is the next. So Francis generally, join almost many meetups. You will find him in a lot of meetups, basically, right, Francis? So you can introduce yourself. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. And I believe that I'm probably the oldest ambassador. I'm 51 years old, but stay young by running around doing rugby at weekends. I've been in IT 25 years. So most of the roles have been things like project management, business support, and infrastructure. But my MuleSoft skills have basically been coming for the last 7 years. I started as a developer in a small team, and now I lead a team of cognizant developers. And it would be my mission to make them as experienced and as good as me, and see them go on to better things. That's all I'm going to say, really, apart from what's written up.
Yeah. So Francis is basically one of the active member, in MuleSoft community. Almost he attend a lot of meetups. Okay, and like Francis, thank you for accepting this opportunity to speak in this particular MuleSoft meetup. Thank you so much.
And also, Jitendra, without Francis joining, I don't see that meetup, even link won't be enabled. You know that? it checks first whether Francis and also our Abhishek.
I always make sure
checks further, he should attend all the meetups. If parallelly working, it should work like a Lord Krishna.
Mm.
You know that is a rule actually Baby has applied.
Yeah. Thanks, Ravi, for sharing this. Thank you so much. So let me go back to next slide. So Mary Jo Sabal, like she writes a lot of high quality blogs, like supporting a lot of other initiatives. Like so, Mary, you can introduce yourself.
Hi everyone, I'm Joy. So first of all, thanks for having me here, and congratulations to Surat Meetup Group. I would say Surat is one of the meetup groups that's close to my heart because this is where I started my journey. Speaking in different meetups. So congratulations, Jack and Nitish. And
Thank
yeah,
you.
going back to my intro. So I'm originally from Philippines, based in Auckland, New Zealand now. So it's it's 9:45 p.m. here on a Saturday. And yeah, so I work as a solution architect at DXC Technology. I I have a developer background, and what I do is I mentor the MuleSoft consultants, and I'm looking after different accounts across ANZ region from financial services, government, and private sector. So yeah, I enjoy what I do, and I've been in integration space for I think more than 5 years now. I started as a COBOL developer and then Java, and yeah, thanks for having me here again.
Yeah. So thanks, Mary. Like you are the one of the initial speaker for the Surat MuleSoft Meetup, and thank you so much for that, and thank you for accepting this opportunity to speak in the Surat MuleSoft Meetup. Basically, thank you. So now next I will go to the Sudhir Kodkarni, who is the CTO at a DO team. So yeah, Sudhir, like, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. First, I would like to thank Jackie for the invite. It's been great experience. That bringing everyone from across the world into an event is such a great thing. Last week I was at Dreamforce, so I met most of the ambassadors from Northern America. Now I'm get to meet the ambassadors from other regions where, due to time constraint, we never get to meet. But this is really great. Yeah, my whole experience, IT experience, has been in integration. So I've worked in legacy integration as a developer with Java background and grown into the practice lead role. Yeah, my role is quite strategic. So it's practice development and C-level advisory. And I'm also I think I see Francis there. So we started in UK 2014 with base integration. It's a pre Salesforce acquisition of the MuleSoft. So it's been, I think, 8-9 years on the MuleSoft journey and the meetups in London. So
It's really
great to
expanded
meet you
since
all.
then.
Yes, Francis. Yeah, great to meet you all.
Thanks, Sudhir. Thank you for accepting this opportunity to talk in the MuleSoft Meetup, Surat MuleSoft Meetup. Thank you so much, Sudhir, for taking out the time and like for speaking in the Surat MuleSoft Meetup. Thank you so much. So now next, Ravi Tamada. So as you like, most of the people is aware, like he also become a MuleSoft ambassador this year, and like everybody knows about like the innovative post done by the Ravi Tamada. Basically, everybody is aware of that particular thing. So Ravi, so you can introduce yourself.
Hi Jitendra, hi everyone. Yeah, like as Sudhir mentioned, definitely we should thank for this organization, this kind of meetup today. And as you know, I'm currently working for Capgemini India as technical architect, playing multiple roles here. And I'm into integration domain for a long, and from the last 8 years I'm with the MuleSoft platform, and also, as you know, MuleSoft has provided me a lot of opportunities as also Capgemini to different areas like that. That's why I'm able to contribute in a different ways, like as a MuleSoft speaker and also meetup leader. I'm trying to contribute wherever I want, and also MuleSoft has provided some opportunities to bag certain uh, very valuable championship. I should definitely thank to the MuleSoft and MuleSoft community and also Capgemini to providing the opportunity. Right, they have provided an opportunity. I try to grab it in the right time. Yeah, that's all from my side. Thank you,
Thanks, Ravi.
Jitendra.
Thanks, Ravi. Whatever you are doing for the community, thank you so much, and thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for accepting this opportunity to talk in the Surat MuleSoft Meetup.
I should thank Jitendra. I think you people know that he is the first time he asked me, but I didn't left him. I know that there is no room for me. But again, like what do you say that Bhatte Vikramarka, I didn't left him. I again asked him to add it again because he invited me initially. I rejected, but I should really thank Jitendra for accepting my request and making me to present here. Thank you.
No problem, no problem. Thank you so much. So Abhishek is also one of the recent MuleSoft ambassador, and he's also doing a lot of contribution via videos, blogs, meetups, speaker. Yeah, thank you, Abhishek. Whatever you are doing for community.
Thank you, Jackie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So first of all, I would like to congratulate the Surat group for reaching this milestone. So this is the first group, and I believe only group to reach this milestone, and it's a very big achievement. And thanks for making all of us part of this achievement. Thank you so much for providing us this opportunity. Uh, all the hard works and everything what you all are doing is really appreciate that, and thanks to the MuleSoft community and MuleSoft for providing all these opportunities. So, hello everyone. Hi, this is Abhishek. I'm a MuleSoft ambassador. I'm working as an associate solution architect at Epicero. I have overall of 7+ years of experience and 5+ years in MuleSoft, certified developer and architect. As Jackie mentioned, like I run different groups like Guwahati and Lucknow groups as a meetup leader. I'm a frequent meetup speaker, industry and GTM champion, and I write blogs, create technical videos. That's all about me. Thank you so
Th-
much.
Thanks, Abhishek, for taking the opportunity to part of the Surat MuleSoft Meetup. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
So last, I will introduce myself. So my name is Jitendra Bafna, and I'm a senior solution architect, or you can call me the API and global competency lead at a EPAM system. Basically, I'm a MuleSoft ambassador, having overall 14+ years of IT experience, and out of 14 years, like I have 6 years of experience in the MuleSoft. I am all MuleSoft certified, like MuleSoft developer level 1, developer level 2, MuleSoft integration architect, and the platform architect. I'm also a go-to-market champion, delivery champion, and industry champion. Currently, I'm handling a 4 MuleSoft meetup group: Surat, Mumbai, Nashik, and the engineering student meetup group. I am a MuleSoft meetup speaker. I already have speak in more than 65 sessions, 65 meetups basically. I have expertise in setting up the architecting and setting up the MuleSoft platform, which include CloudHub, Runtime Fabric Manager, customer hosted Mule runtime. I also have expertise in the platform assessment and the comparison. So right now, so my current role is to build a competency within the EPAM system, where I'm taking a lot of initiatives to build a good competency, to build a strong competency within the EPAM system. So that's all about me, and I would like to thanks Mary, for helping me out to fulfill this particular initiative. Basically, she helped me. Like I also would like to thanks all the ambassador, who accept this opportunity to speak in the Surat MuleSoft Meetup. And thank you for to be the part of 50th Surat MuleSoft Meetup. Thank you so much. Okay, so just a minute, I forget to change one thing. Okay. So before we get into the a few other things, so let me just start with Surat MuleSoft journey. So Surat MuleSoft group was launched in May 2020. So where we have done our first virtual meetup. So in September 2020, I become a Surat MuleSoft meetup leader, and Nitish also joined me as a meetup leader. And in 2000, we have completed around 7 meetup, right, in 2020, from September to December. And we have also won the award for most active group in 2020. Then in 2021, we have completed around 24 MuleSoft meetup basically. So every month we are hosting 2 Surat MuleSoft meetup. Then in 2022, we have already reached to 90th MuleSoft meetup. Okay. So what are the few achievements from the Surat Surat MuleSoft meetup group? So we have already distributed around more than 150 training and certification voucher. And today we have reached the mark of 50th Surat MuleSoft Meetup. We have we have given the opportunity to 25 speakers to speak in the Surat MuleSoft Meetup group. Now we have more than 2,000 group members as a part of Surat MuleSoft Meetup group. So these are the few achievements and this is Surat MuleSoft Meetup group journey basically. Let me I want to thanks to all the participants, all the group members who are continuously participating in the Surat MuleSoft Meetup. And like I want to just have a special mention and big shout out to the speaker who have participated as a speaker in the Surat MuleSoft Meetup. So these are, I will not going to read all the names. So these are the few names. I think these are around 25 or 26 speakers who have already speak in the Surat MuleSoft Meetup group, right? So I just appreciate them and there's a big shout out for them basically. Yeah. Okay, now we can start with our actual meetup. Before we start with our actual meetup, does anybody have any question that they need to discuss? Like, no, anybody have anything to share or anything before we start with actual meetup?
But this is really great numbers, Jitendra. It's we ignore it. Organizing one event is forget about in person. Organizing one person, pulling one meetup present itself is highly impossible. But I see that a lot of energy and lot of dedication is there, Jitendra.
Thank you, Ravi. So
it's not so easy. Yeah, it's not so easy. Thank you.
Yeah. So thank you, Ravi, for sharing this. Anybody have to say anything like no? So feel free to talk. We have already enabled the mic for everyone before we get into the actual meetup.
Hey Jitendra, this is Giridhar.
Hi Giridhar, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. So, hey guys, I know Jackie better than anyone in this group, I think, because I have known him since 2011. We have worked together on several projects in different organizations. So, I know what kind of efforts he will put for finding a better solution in wherever he is and wherever he involved. So, one of the live example is that we are seeing now. He's celebrating 50th event where he is leading the Surat group.
Yeah. So I think me and Giri work together in the organization called Hexaware basically, and we are on the same projects basically. So we are working on the technology called Bistock, and we are on the same project basically. Yeah.
Yeah, we were at the same projects in Capgemini as well.
Yes, Capgemini also. Yes, true. Thanks, Giri, for sharing this. Nice to meet you once again. Thank you so much.
No worries. All the best.
Yeah. Okay. So if no other question, then we can start with some kind of interview or some kind of conversation, basically. Okay. So let me go back to my next slide. So the first question, yeah.
Jitendra, one more thing I just want to know from all of the ambassadors, since most of the ambassadors are here. So we all know that obtaining the position of ambassador is not an easy task. So I want to listen to all of you, essentially ambassadors. How do you feel when you become an ambassador, and how you're feeling during the ambassador's journey?
Yes, so there is a conversation on that also. So
okay.
Don't worry, you will be able to hear.
Definitely. Thank you. Go ahead.
So now, so basically, anybody from audience can ask the question, but let me start first. Okay, so ask the ambassador. The first question, like to go to Sudhir Kodkarni and the Yos, anybody can take. So like you both have to talk on this particular thing. What excites you about MuleSoft RPA, Sudhir?
Yeah, thanks for asking this question. I think it's like being what they say in the UK is being pig in a mud. So it's something new kid on the block now. So everybody wants to see what it is. But what it excites me is like we have a lot of integration challenges, especially when it comes to UI-based integration, or it comes to the backend integration where there's API capabilities, or something where the integration itself is not possible through traditional integration tools. So what can we do in those spaces? I think that's where I personally feel the RPA fits into, where you want to do the UI integration, you want to get direct access to the UI elements, be it the web or old legacy integrations, or traditional way you would put a lot of resources on scheduling and polling, whereas you have a bot which does the heavy lifting for you. I think building that kind of automation is quite exciting and is eases some of the mundane tasks which developers have to do. I think that goes away with some of these new capabilities, I would say.
Yeah, I think that all of us are very excited, no, to start using RPA, no. I think that probably very soon, no, MuleSoft will release, no, these features to the partners, no, so we will be able to start playing, no, with the builder, with the manager, no, with the bot process, no. I think that, no, as Sudri has commented, no, a lot of people, no, maybe no, is still using Excel files, no, and copying data from Excel to a web page, and that's a very tedious task, no. So I think that with RPA we are going to be able to automate that, and not only that, besides, no, with the full integration with AnyPoint, I think that we are going to be able to do very interesting things, no. For example, just imagine, no, that somebody makes a call to an API, and that API for some reason needs a human intervention, no. So in that case, it's going to be possible from that Mule API to make a call to a bot. That bot will trigger, no, a UI and start writing, for example, information in Excel, in Word, whatever. And then by passing a correlation ID to that bot will be able to invoke to a callback to the API. So the API will get the results. So that's very impressive, no?
Right.
I think to add to that, looking at the overall automation offering, right? So we have the platform itself, which can manage and monitor the APIs and things. You have Composer and RPA, which can do the task automation. As Jose said, it might be an Excel integration or it might be something UI integration. Looking at the overall capability, we could accelerate the delivery space, bring in more value-added capabilities, which can help the developers, which can help the business users. I think bridging that gap between the business and the IT is quite crucial. By providing this low-code, no-code, and RPA capabilities, I think it's quite groundbreaking, I would say.
Yeah. So thanks, Sudhir and yours, for sharing your view. Like any other ambassador want to share anything on this particular thing, or anyone from audience also want to share on something on this, basically?
Prototyping. It's good for prototyping.
Right. And what I feel like, so with MuleSoft RPA, right? MuleSoft is also leveraging existing tool, like, existing repository like AnyPoint Exchange, right? For like publishing your like your RPA processes, so that you can reuse that. So it is also leveraging the existing capability which is already available with the MuleSoft, right?
Yes.
So let me go to next question. So this is to me only and to Rajesh Kumar. So what are the benefits of upgrading to CloudHub 2.0, Rajesh?
Good. Yeah. Thanks, Jackie. As you can see that the CloudHub 2.0, everything was in the containerized one, where you can manage in the service cloud. We can easily scale up. You could have seen a lot of times in the cloud, who the people are experts have worked much in the CloudHub 1.0. You could have seen some concerns with respect to the core utilization, where you can deploy the app maximum minimum you require is a 0.1 vCore, even if you utilize for the any proxy applications, like just a mediator, still I need to utilize a 0.1 vCore. And grouping could be logically could be possible, but technically you may see that to scaling up, scaling out down could be a challenging one. Where overcoming all these things, even when the MuleSoft came into the picture, right? The before even the API is only the ESB layer, so they used to have only the MuleSoft flows without any API gateway or any capabilities. Then slowly they came with the classic runtime, where is a Mule runtime on-premise one. Then the cloud, everything managed the iPaaS solution, a platform as a service, where you don't need to do anything from the infrastructure management. You just do only the development activities, only running up your APIs. Where the one more the layer is on top of is the RTF, runtime fabric, where you manage your apps into the containerized one. So no need to worry about the performance of the application or scaling up, scaling down, or avoiding the failures, running on the multiple clusters. So it become very popular, the containerization. Then the runtime fabric came into the picture, but still which is missing in the CloudHub landscape. So this CloudHub 2.0 It's trying to manage that you manage containerized everything. You don't need to manage in the individual Elastic servers to have the applications, and no need to worry in the scaling up the applications. So I think which is utilized, and of course this could be, I think, what is the future of the cloud in the iPaaS solutions could be the CloudHub 2.0. And I could see in the backend a lot of effort they put to bring this one. And excitingly, I'm saying that one of the client currently I'm engaging in the some global iPaaS platform setup for to manage into the EMA, APAC, and chain on the various regions. We're planning to do that, and we're utilizing the CloudHub 2.0. I could see certain challenges as it is in the early in the game, but of course I of advantages there to taken off all these private space VPC concepts, leveraging into the private space, shared spaces, and you don't see the DLB there, dedicated load balancer. Everything is replaced the ingress. So still I can add the inbound, outbound rules also, and built in some of the security policies, which is going to be more matured. I can say one way is a more matured from the infrastructure management, deployment, and API management wise. So I think it's good. I could see the by default you're going to see the most of the people by default will be following the CloudHub 2.0,
Right.
which is going to help you on the a lot of challenges from the infrastructure point of view also.
Right. Thanks, Rajesh, for sharing this. Let me share my point of view also. So the before, like I just start sharing the benefits of CloudHub 2.0. First, I will tell like what are the features that is not supported by CloudHub 2.0, but those are supported by CloudHub 1.0. The first thing, CloudHub 2.0 doesn't support endpoint data graph. It doesn't support VPC peering. It doesn't support AWS Direct Connect, right? So these are the few features. It also doesn't support URL rewriting, which we are doing in the CloudHub 1.0 using dedicated load balancer, right? And it also doesn't support a dedicated load balancer. Instead of that, we have to use the ingress load balancer, right? So these are the few features not supported by CloudHub 2.0. Like apart from that, there are most of the feature supported by CloudHub 2.0, which is already available in CloudHub 2.0. So like high availability, scalability, like intelligent healing, zero downtime updates, then like it also support fault tolerance kind of architecture, so those kind of things. Right now, I will come to few differences and why one should go with the CloudHub 2.0 upgradation. So by default, if you see, it support the elastic transaction volume with the dynamic scalability. What does this mean? So basically, whatever ingress load balancer you are setting up in your shared space or the private space, right, that get auto scale depending on the number of requests, or it automatically scale up, scale down. So you don't have to define like how many workers for required for this ingress load balancer, or how many instance require, how many instance of ingress load balancer required. Like we does for dedicated load balancer, right? We does like we set up either two workers or four workers or five workers. But for ingress load balancer, it get dynamic scalable. Like we don't have to do anything. It also support last mile security. It also support a granular vCores options. So with CloudHub 1.0, it support 0.1, 0.2, then 1, 2, 4, 8, and 16. With CloudHub 2.0, it support 0.1, 0.2, 0.5, then it support 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, and 4. So it can maximum it can support up to 4 vCores for one replica. It also support anypoint clustering. When you are deploying a replication on multiple replicas or multiple instances of your application, you can enable the anypoint clustering. You can share the data across the multiple replicas, right? Other thing, like with CloudHub 1.0, it's CloudHub 1.0 support persistent queue, but CloudHub 2.0 doesn't support a persistent queues also, right? Now, the main important thing why one should migrate from CloudHub 1.0 to CloudHub 2.0, the isolation is on the container base basically, right? So in CloudHub 1.0, the isolation is on the virtual machines. So each VM, like if you want to isolate it two applications, so both applications are deployed on the different VMs. Whereas in CloudHub 2.0, the isolation on the container. So you may having the same space. The multiple tenants can run their application in the same space, but it will be like your application will be deployed in the separate container basically, right? But why I'm saying why it will be benefited, you can deploy your application at the lightning speed. So basically, if you deploy your application on CloudHub 1.0 on 0.1 peak, it take a lot of time. It may take 2 minutes, 3 minutes, or 5. Sometimes it may take more minutes also, right? With CloudHub 2.0, I think it happened in 10 to 15 seconds. You can container will be up and running in 10 to 15 seconds basically, right? So these are the futures, or these are the features you need to consider while upgrading to the CloudHub 2.0. Yeah, so that's, yeah. Anybody want to share anything, any view about this? They can definitely
And
share.
just to add to that, Jockey was saying there's a limitations, right? So I got an opportunity as part of the current engagement to talk to the product team. So where we understand that, of course, one was the VPC peering. Of course, now there is no VPC concept. Everything's a private space, but still you have a challenge of connecting to the one private space to another private space in the different regions. Where I have one private space in US region, when other one could be in my EU Frankfurt region. They connected to the private space could be a challenge one. And where you see only the availability is the transit gateway or our anypoint VPN with your AppSec tunnel. So I think this could be some challenges. And what we understood is the data graph support and the flex gateway support. It is there in the product roadmap. So
Correct.
as you see, the entire infrastructure setup is going to change from Cloud 1 to 2.0. It is not just to some enhancement. It is not something like a on 1.0, some adding 1, 2, 3, becoming 2.0. It is entire re-infrastructure is setup is happening. So that's what they're trying to bring. So it looks like it may take some time, but most of the features like the identity management, client management, business group, multi-tenant, and the shared space, and DLB mappings. The way we have the DLB, right? I can mapping to the different rules based on the my asset creations in the backend to runtime manager applications. Still, they're trying to map with to Ingress load balancer. But yes, but there are some challenges as is a. But I think this could be a future for the product going forward. Yeah.
Right,
Thanks, Jack.
right. Yeah. Thank you. So, like, I will share I will take the second question for Rajesh, because not Rajesh, Sudhir basically, and for Ryan. So, thanks, Rajesh, for sharing your view on the CloudHub 2.0. Thank you so much. Now, like Sudhir, again, I am coming back to you. What does it mean to be a MuleSoft ambassador, and the impact it has on your career, basically?
I think if I have to summarize, it's like great power comes with great responsibility. I think ambassador is a premiership. It doesn't go with the say that it's just my contribution. I think my team and the community has played quite a part in it to making me success and making me an ambassador. I think giving back to the community is the motivator, I would say, to become an ambassador. Professionally, yes, definitely it has helped me a lot. The lot of meetups I go, a lot of the customers I meet. Now MuleSoft has positioned us in line with the W visionaries or the Slack ambassadors or Salesforce MVPs. I think it's a great commitment and support from MuleSoft as well to make this partnership go a long mile. Yeah, that's what I just wanted to add.
Thanks, Sudhir, for sharing your view. Rian, so you can share your view, so
Yeah.
you have a great experience to be a MuleSoft ambassador, so you can share your view,
Yeah, I totally agree with Sidor what he mentioned, that being an ambassador comes with great responsibilities, because as you can see during the introduction, most of the MuleSoft ambassadors are managing multiple meetups. And besides managing those multiple meetups, we have some work, and also we are mentoring different developers, and also we're speaking to different events. And being being an ambassador is, we know that there's a connotation that if you're an ambassador, that means you are a MuleSoft expert. And having that connotation, of course, there is kind of pressure on what you do, and what work you're doing, because they do have some expectation that if you work, you do it with quality. And also being an ambassador, we want to help a lot of people, because I remember way back when I started my career in Philippines, and I started my meetup before. There's no one knows MuleSoft. What is MuleSoft? And even when starting my meetup, probably we only have 10, 20 attendees. But after 2 years, 3 years, we're having like 100 plus attendees. So the way you share your knowledge with them and the way you inspire others to uh, learn MuleSoft and embrace that technology.
Yeah. So yeah, it was a great view. Thanks, Rian, for sharing this. So anybody want to talk about this? Anybody any
Just
employee?
want to add one point to the Rian's one. So I was saying, right, I think when he started the meetup, who is people are asking, where's the MuleSoft? And a similar kind of thing, something to remember. In 2013, I started working on MuleSoft, especially there's a project called UIDA. Everybody knows in India, their other project. So I don't know if you guys are aware or not. The entire UIDA runs with the backbone is a MuleSoft. The entire it runs on the SEDA architecture, the 65 or 60, I don't remember exact number. Some 67 or 68 applications are there in the backend, which runs that UIDA.
Mhm.
And it like a 20 plus petabyte data is managing the data for all these Indian populations, right? So I used to say that I'm working on the MuleSoft, and people used to say, what is a MuleSoft? They don't even know in the integration. Even the people are working in integration, they don't even know much about the MuleSoft. And I had a very hard time to find out the articles also. I could not able to get the things done, how to execute, how to write the flows, because I just entered the MuleSoft, right? So it was very tough, and that's where the MuleSoft community. Then I tried to directly reach out to the MuleSoft team, and they helped me a lot with the articles, the sessions, and now we could see in after 8 years, 9 years, see wherever in the internet, if you search MuleSoft, you'll get thousands of the articles, thousands of videos. And one example could be Jackie. That's what I thought of saying. Jitendra, you don't need separate introduction. Most of the people know if you search in MuleSoft and you'll find the videos. One interesting thing happened in the last week. I was telling you right in the currently I was working on the MuleSoft CloudHub 2.0 setup for one of the global FS setup, where the client we were following most of the you guys people are having that to this documentation thing, right? We were doing the explore on the product 2.0, right? The client put all the some materials or videos, which I could see is most of the materials or videos come from the Jitendra's videos from YouTube. He told that you please go through all these videos, all these materials. There is some mules of community member. He added a lot of data. So that's what I'm saying, that the 8 years back, I don't even find what is a MuleSoft, but now you see the entire different. And I get a lot of respect also as an ambassador. The people reach out to me that, how do you grow up in MuleSoft? What are the articles? Share me the journey. It feels me so happy, and I feel
Yeah.
myself the proud. This things, I think it's very good. Yeah, I just thought of sharing when about the MuleSoft. Thanks,
Not
Ryan.
not only not only that, Rajesh. Now, take an example of Jitendra. If he's not contributing, people think there is a problem. He has to contribute, right? He is running it at 200 speed. He has to run 200. He can't slow it up. There is a problem. And also, that's also a good point, Rajesh. Even I observed, right? If you take 2.2 MuleSoft training documentation, if you take a reference documents, they have given the reference documents for I think one of the link is Jitendra, and they're also given some external links which are created by the community people. That's good, right? See, a
Exactly. I think
product is
that's
actually referring to usually what happens, official links they never refer to the external blogs because that should be only from the MuleSoft, right? I really surprised and appreciated. Yeah,
Thanks.
that means
Thanks.
none of I think none of the product will do like this. I feel like that. Yeah.
yeah. I think that's the effort and
Yeah.
appreciation for the community.
You with this comment, you are empowering me a lot.
That's a like power of we can say inspiration or motivation. We can say like what motivates you. This is what motivates us. Jitendra is one of the example who motivates us to contribute more to the community.
Yeah.
I've personally seen him contributing a lot, like how he works. I've personally seen him, and
No, in
he's
a
like
others people.
day and night he keep on going and doing things, creating videos. So it's like beyond a normal people. I don't think he's a normal person.
And what's good, what's also good about being the ambassador is, and the privilege of being the ambassador is just getting connected with so many other professionals,
Sure.
understanding the industry, understanding the context of our work so much easier.
Yeah.
Yes, Francis.
Even I want to appreciate Ravi also, like the post which he do, the a unique post with lot of photos, and he posted that was also like very appreciable.
Yeah.
Uh, See, not only just presenting, right? I'm not exaggerating. Sometime back, if you take 1 year back, I got up at 3 o'clock and joined one meetup, which is very odd time. At that moment, also France is there and Abhishek is there, and also I attended another meeting wherein I don't know except English. That is in some other language. Still, Abhishek is there. Francis is there. I don't know. See that the passion that you people have that, right? It's now. I'm not talking about now. It is about 1 year back also.
Yeah, so
That's
that
what
is
people are. See, the
meetups.
people are actually, yeah. Earlier, if you take 2 years back, Abhishek, when you want to have one knowledge session, as Rashek rightly mentioned, it's very hardly difficult. We don't know, like we used to work like a donkey because we at that moment is not matured, right? Even Jockey, many people, if you talk to the community, many people actually got benefited with our community, and actually they got very good. They are replaced in very good in other organizations. I think community. If you join one meetup, I think usually what happens after Abhishek something he learns it. It's highly impossible, right? He's actually sharing all his knowledge. Suppose maybe he gained that knowledge after working for maybe 3 4 months, right, Jockey? But he's
Correct.
sharing within half an hour. He's sharing everything. It's not so easy, right?
Right. True.
So 6 months of experience. What are the pain points? Everything is community is just learning by sitting at their home. That's
Correct. Correct.
the people are now. People should realize the fact that everyone should realize that fact.
Correct. So that is how we are empowering the MuleSoft community, right? So that is how, like, it's like it's a support from all the community member. That's just publishing a lot of videos, articles, like not only videos, article, also providing the advice whenever we require, right? So that is how we keep on thriving a MuleSoft community, right? So thanks everyone for sharing your thoughts, and thank you so much. I will get into the next question. This is now for Mary. Mary is silent basically. Today she's not talking too much.
That's all right.
Yeah. So what are the IT initiative are you investing in today that will result in the biggest long-term ROI?
Ladies first, or would you like me to start, Mary?
Up to you. Go for it.
Okay, well, I think the main problem that I'm looking at is keeping data flows separate. So we spoke about the number of vCores that people use, the number of times we reuse the assets. Within my estate, we have a lot of test environments. So it's how to keep production data separate from test environments. How do we keep different test environments separate from each other? So we're looking at using all the tools that you learn on the level 2 courses, particularly policies, to make sure that different environments can connect to different environments through the different stacks, and we're not having so many applications running at the same time. We can also use things like policies to test the data. So in production data, for example, some of the indices, they'll be quite mature data, the number sets will be quite high, whereas with the test environments, the indexes will start at 1 and go up to a low sort of number. So we can do things like testing with some of the policies and just make sure that we're not accidentally moving data around. So that's comes under security. It also comes under reuse of the applications and keeping data separate. Other things that we're using in the sort of level 2 courses is externalizing our error handling into extra jar files that we can pull into projects to make building blocks to make our projects quicker to set up. So we have a number of different connectors, a number of different cloud environments. So trying to get all the error handling together for any of the different, whether connecting with Azure, whether connecting to SAP, whether connecting to many of the other bits, separating out all the different error handling and making sure these are building blocks that are available for projects so we can quickly deliver things.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, that's a good one basically. Yeah. So like Francis, let me ask one question. Like sometimes what happens, like sometimes the customer selects a multiple platforms, right? And like I'm like and they ask to do some platform assessment or something. So how do you showcase like we get a better return of investment on the MuleSoft?
Well, the best return use really comes down to reuse of components. So if you have a library of assets that you can build in, the traits, getting the ramble up quickly, that's how you get your return on investment quickly, because you need to demonstrate something that's relatively robust quite quickly. minimum viable product is one of those words that, do they just mean working, or do they mean something that handles errors, that act in a proper way? If you can do that with your mocking services by pulling in various traits, that can get you started as well. So it comes to that getting up and running with a minimum viable product quickly.
Right. So you mean to say, like, so basically it's completely depend on like how many reusable building blocks we are creating and like we are publishing to the anypoint exchange, and secondly, how we are using the accelerators or templates which is provided by the MuleSoft to reduce or to get a better return on investment, right?
Yes, I'm really talking about the accelerators, getting something up and running and then making it mature, because in my experience, I find that the customers want to get something, handle it, and then add features and add functionality and add other things on top. So it's getting something mature quickly. So it's not about numbers, but things like the accelerators are a great way of getting something delivered to the customer quickly and then expanding on their requirements and building from there.
Right. Yeah. So Mary, what is your point of view here basically?
Okay, I've got a few things on top of my head. So I'll start with the security. So security is paramount, like no questions asked. And one good example was what happened recently with Uber. So Uber is a ride-sharing app, and the data of, like, when you put a corporate card to your Uber, it got compromised. So if you see now in LinkedIn jobs, you'll see bunch of opening roles for cybersecurity engineer or security related roles for Uber. So that's one really good example. And as the organizations now considering moving the infrastructure from the on-premises to cloud, they kind of like not losing totally the control, but it's getting lesser and lesser. So I think we should put these security controls in place. um, we need to conduct security assessments not only at the application level but also the platform level, and organization should invest to a really good cybersecurity team. So that's one IT initiative. The second one is around the automation. So as you're aware, MuleSoft is now moving to, or having these new products like RPA and MuleSoft Composer, which is, really good. But again, this is a case-to-case basis. You can't automate everything. So this should be driven by the people working on the ground with a really good feedback model. It shouldn't be driven by the revenue. It's not only because that you wanted to sell the stuff or you wanted to sell the product. It should be something that is very beneficial, because businesses are gonna spend their money. They're gonna invest to this. So we need to have a good feedback model, especially with the people working on the ground, like who's really using it. And then the product or the automation will evolve and really needs to have a good planning. So the third one is around marketing, which I just had a meet up a few days ago. So this is where the Salesforce Marketing Cloud and MuleSoft, combined solution is it really going to help the organization, because the customers now, and even us, because we're a customer as well, we're not loyal to the brands anymore. Whoever's going to give us a really good customer experience, who's going to give us a personalized experience, that's where we're going to go. And most especially lots of competition now in the market. And that's why the organizations now realize the benefit of marketing. So that comes with the security as well, because we are managing the PII, or personal private, something like that, private information. So yeah, that works hand in hand with the security. And then the last probably would be the Composable Enterprise, which relates to what Francis mentioned. wherein we have this, what do you call this, application network, and it requires a really good feedback model as well. And that's why we have to focus as well in building a C4E to, or evangelizing C4E to the organization. And it's one of the core pillars of MuleSoft, right? It's the platform, the API led, the methodology, and also the C4E. So meaning that it would really contribute a lot to the organization, and this will really drive the composability, the reusability by evangelizing to different line of businesses. So yeah, that's me.
Another point on that reusability. We talk about developing applications, and you might get this idea that we're just developing them ourselves, but no, getting eyes on to the applications before they're getting delivered to the customer. So composability, reusability just allows more people to collaborate. It also means more eyes on the product before it gets delivered.
Correct. So like Mary, does C4E can help on ROI?
Yes.
Definitely yes, because you need a cross-functional team who would, look after this MuleSoft initiative in the organization. It's not just, comes with the license, most especially if the organization don't have a MuleSoft or integration capability in general, right? Because they're paying heaps of money to this license, and they need to get the maximum business value out of it. And that's why it's not, it's not technology itself alone. It comes with, with the team as well, with the people. And that's why it's three core pillars of MuleSoft.
Yeah. So with technology, I feel IT transformation is also important to get a better ROI, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely.
And again, that goes back to my aspect of getting eyes on from different stakeholders, customers, peer-reviewed code, security.
Right. Yeah. I think it's.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm talking like a salesperson. No. Yeah.
No. I think for this point we need to talk like a salesperson only. Right? Yeah. So I think thanks Francis and Mary for sharing this view. This is really helpful. Basically, let me go to next question. So now again back to Ryan. So Ryan, what new ways of working has your team adopted that will lead to long-term positive impact? And what are the old ways still work well?
So we know recently we have this pandemic, and basically pandemic changes everything on how we work. And some people are having some challenges at adapting to this new way of working, because some people they prefer working in the office, probably because at home there are some, probably if you have kids, sometimes kids are just probably naughty while you're having your meetings, so it's kind of challenging to us. And for us to, with my company, to overcome that challenge, I think what we're doing is we're still trying to maintain our relationship with our peers. So as much as possible, we try to meet once or twice a week in the office, because if you maintain that good relationship with your teammates, because if you have your personal socialize with those people, it will somehow affect on how you work as a team. So the way that I'm saying that one, because imagine if you have a new employee in your company, and that new employee will be part of the team, and probably that new employee never see you, or probably never see other team members of your team. And if he or she is having some difficulty, then probably he will have some challenges asking questions, because he or she doesn't know you personally. But if that person seen you personally, then he or she will not hesitate to ask questions. So that's what we're trying to do after this pandemic, and somehow it's really effective. And probably what old ways still work well? Probably preserving the company culture. So even there's this pandemic, we still try to maintain whatever culture that we had before and after the pandemic, because regardless if you're working from home or you're working in the office or wherever you are working, we still try to have those social gatherings outside of work. For example, we can have a virtual beer. We can have like a team lunch virtually, and somehow that's one of the effective way to socialize with them. And also people can still ask questions. So if they are having some difficulty with MuleSoft, they just drop those questions internally, and anyone from the team can pick up the question, and you will get multiple responses. So that's really helped a lot.
True, true. Yeah. So like you mean to say like like due to pandemic, like there is a missing of the social connect, right? So that
Yes.
leads to some, yeah. So anybody want to share any other views on this? Basically, any ambassador, anyone, like feel free to share.
Yes. Funnily enough, yesterday I had exactly the same conversation with my company. Our whole company got together at a hotel, middle of the country, to discuss these exact points. How do you replicate mentoring online? How do you replicate communities of practice? How do you replicate the water cooler conversations? All those things were spoken about, and as Ryan said, it's definitely important for young people to feel part of a company, to feel part of the culture, to understand the culture, to be informed of conversations around them. So how can we do that either online or through a hybrid blend of working? And we've come to the agreement that nothing really replaces some of that getting together face to face and discussing things and hearing conversations around you.
Yeah, yeah, that's good. Yeah. So thanks, Ryan and Francis, for sharing your view on this particular question. Let me go back to next question. Again, I think it's now like it's Abhishek. As a MuleSoft ambassador, what motivates you to give back to others, Abhishek?
Yeah, thanks for the question, Jackie. So there are several points of motivation. So first of all, if I talk like being a MuleSoft ambassador itself, a great motivations, because as Giri, then Shudhir and Ryan has already said, like being a MuleSoft ambassador is not an easy task, and once you become an ambassador, it's also brings some responsibilities with you. People create some expectations, like okay, they are the experts, then there should be some answers from that. So that motivates me a lot. And sharing a small story, like I was active like in MuleSoft for last 5 years, but I became active more in 2020. Okay, that is where the pandemic started, and I joined Epicero, and I would like to appreciate Epicero also for whatever achievement I have done today. So back then, like that is when I realized, okay, what communities, and I became more active. I got involved into meetups, then I became speaker, then writing blogs. So the ultimate desire was, okay, I have heard about that ambassador. There is a program for ambassador, and that's a very big thing. So that becomes a desire for me, and that was the ultimate goal, and that motivates me so that I can contribute more. And then once you start contributing, people reach out to you, they reach out to become speaker. So there, then you get a value of this. Okay, I'm creating some difference, creating some values. So that also motivates, and that's how you give back. Second is all the leaders, even if you see today's meetup. So the ambassador speaker, whoever are present over here, so if you'll notice, I am the youngest among you all. So you all are a great inspiration and motivation to me. Like when I see the work you all do, when I look up, I see, okay, I see, and personally giving example of your Jackie, I've seen personally how you works day and night. So that's create a motivation. Okay, then I should also do something. I should also give back, because creating a position and being sitting with you all today, among you all the legendaries, all the experts over here, is a big thing for me as well. So that's a part of motivation. And the third thing, if I'll say, which I follow, I always like compare me with myself with my yesterday version. Like try to bring up few minutes early in the morning or maybe in the night and think like what new you have learned today, how you are better from your yesterday version, what out of box things you have done. So you need to like focus and force yourself, don't put any limitations, and that's how you also empower yourself and empower the community.
Yes. So you keep on doing versioning for yourself, basically, right?
Yes, like because pandemic also like given a lot of opportunity. There was nothing to do for anyone, so that is like a point of motivation. Okay, what we should do? There is nothing, so let's focus on our work and make some value to the community and yourself. Because maybe it's an ambassador, it's a mentor, or who the member of the community. We are the representative of MuleSoft and MuleSoft community. So people should motivate by looking our work. So that's all motivate me especially.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
For me, the motivation could be summarized by two words, really: the privilege of being connected. I mean,
Yes.
I go back further than Abhishek to the days of MuleSoft and the help forums and how people got the community badges for working within MuleSoft. And I didn't feel initially that connected 6 years ago. It was hard to know who's an expert. It was just from reading information that people had done. So solving questions, or sometimes the questions weren't even solved the correct way, but you couldn't tell this as a new starter. You didn't have that understanding of people's abilities or where to find good information. So certainly over the years of working with the various community badges and then working way up to ambassador, that then connected me to a lot of people, and I get a lot of privilege from knowing who I can go to for expert help. I feel a lot of privilege from mentoring and building my team. It's great when people that I've worked with over the past 2 years have then said to me, I'm going off to America to go and be an integration architect because I've progressed and know the same things as you, but also know the same connections and benchmarking against other people. So yeah, privilege and connection are two words that really sum up what motivates me to be an ambassador and to continue in the journey of being involved within the MuleSoft community.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
anybody want to share their thoughts on this? Anyone?
Just want to add one more thing, like as Ravi has also mentioned it, like attending the MuleSoft meetup. So I will say that is the best way for making networking. Like even though like you are connecting and but you are not a speaker, but as an attendee you get a chance to have a networking with a lot of people, with the ambassadors, maybe the speakers or other attendees, and you create a great bond over there. People get connected with you over LinkedIn. Like
Yeah.
in the today's meetup also I can see a lot of people whom I know, like I have chatted with them, they are connected with me. So that creates a lot of bond, which was like I think was not earlier, but now it has in last 2 years it has been greatly taken off.
Yes, we're
Yeah.
certainly more of a community than we were.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think one of the largest community.
True.
Thanks, Abhishek and Francis, for sharing your views on this. Let me go to next question. Now, Mr. Ravi Tamada, this is questions to you. Tell us how you become the active member of MuleSoft community.
Hi Jitendra, hi everyone. Yeah, I think this is a very good question because uh, as sometime when you look at few years back, maybe before the COVID starts, right? When you start looking into the try to look into browse it, I see that there are very good contributors. I found them many people has contributed, and their videos are very good. But I see that there is a discontinuity in that because they are not active all the time. So then I realized that if you really want to be connected with, there should be a consistency, right? You should consistently produce something or be connected with them. Then only you can be in touch with the other people. And as you know, like Jitendra, there are many people they contribute in multiple ways. I see some people they contribute only in one way, and I see some people they contribute in different ways, right? Maybe writing the blogs, maybe writing the presenting the videos, maybe presenting in a different way. So always I try to make sure in my own way, forget about what are the labels that we are tagging. As you all know that we don't know how many days we can hold this because every tag has its own weightage. So we need to carry them. But apart from that, what are the time which I possible, I try to make sure that try to contribute it in a different way. Maybe that's why I found that maybe to be honest, I maybe Jackie and some other people when they started with the question of the day, it looks a simple, but I noticed one good thing is that when you do that, every day the people looking for that, right? Every day one trigger. At the same time, you learn it. That's the one way of doing that. Right? And every week, if you produce some blog, maybe if you produce a meetup, so people will look for you, and also you also learn from other people, right? Um, to give another example with an active, how active is that? I will give you like it is about 4 months back. I got one problem, and one of my project team asked. I don't know whom you need to ask. Then immediately I called the jockey that evening, and I asked him, "This is the problem. Do you know him?" And he shared with me. Next day morning, I saw a blog in D Zone that he published. See, so that is one of the way, right? See, you got a problem, and I got a solution for that. He just shared with that. There are like this. There are so many people. They have lot of knowledge. If you look at rightly said, I think 3/4 of the people are not active. They have a lot of knowledge because of some other reason they are not able to come up front and they are not able to share it. Maybe I think people should start thinking about thing and they have to come up and make sure that you always active so that people that connectivity should be there, right? Suppose if you lose the connectivity again, it takes time to again make an connectivity and establish with the community.
Right, Ravi. Right. That's true. Yeah, it's very important. Like whenever you face any challenges or you face any, if you face encounter any problem, right? And if you solve that problem, try to share that problem. Like other will not face that similar kind of, or if they face, they will get a solution quickly. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not possible to contribute in all the areas. To take an example, see, it's not so easy like help.mulesoft.com, right? See, I see that there are some people in Chaki, who else? I think Abhishek, you are all active, right? Maybe Abhishek is there, right? There are some people, if you see that is amazing, right? I can't contribute there because I am not in that area because that's a specific skill, right? There are 10, 15 areas. You select not required to go in all the areas, select one or two areas to make sure that they are connected so that people will start recognizing you and also you learn it. And as you are learning from others, you also just contribute it. And that's all.
Right.
And also it's not only Jitendra being active, also there is other side of the coin is also there are some people who take in different way, but still it's because at the end we are contributing for the community. We should just ignore it and we do whatever you want. Okay, I got actual so many hiccups also when I publish something. It's not so easy, right? Some people again they ask me, they say that they give in, they feel something discomfort. So sometimes I need to immediately delete it because see, we don't know, right? So because it's our intention is not to hurt anyone or something like that. Sometimes you may give a wrong information, right? We don't know because we are just learning from each other.
Correct. True. Very true.
Thank
Thanks, Ravi, for sharing this. Thank you so much. Let me go to next question. So, yours, the questions to you, then I will also answer. How do you see a new universal API management and in particular Flex Gateway?
Yeah, definitely. I think that this has been on the one of the the most interesting new features that Mules has released recently. No, I think that it's clear that especially I had seen this, for example, in telco companies. No, maybe they decide to go with middleware a couple of years ago. No, but after a lot of mergers and acquisitions, maybe now they had, I don't know, 5 different middlewares. No, including API gateways, ESB, whatever. No, so I think that in that case, Mules probably today is the only player, that is offering, or is going to offer, an API portal that will be able to gather APIs that has been published by another solution. I think that's very, very important. No. With the release of Universal API Management, we have also seen other interesting stuff. No, for example, the API governance. Traditionally, in MuleSoft, we didn't have a tool that was able to validate, for example, an open API specification, and check what kind of things can be improved. No, There is still room of improvement, no? Because, for example, no, today is not possible to validate the code, no, the flows itself. You have to use SonarQube, no. But I think that it has been an interesting improvement. And finally, no, one thing that is very interesting, no, is this lightweight Envoy gateway, no, Flex gateway, and no, and it's interesting for a lot of things, no. It's true that it does not have any connectors, so you can only, grab microservices, for example, that are already exposing HTTP, no, or lambdas, no, that are exposing HTTP. But I think that no, it's very well designed, no, because you don't have to care about creating a lot of workers per API. With just an instance of Flex Gateway, you can deploy there. I think that is 200 APIs, no. And another thing that is also interesting is that probably is the first product of MuleSoft that is moving in the right direction towards the consumption model, no. Again, with Flex Gateway, you have like a number of millions of calls that you can do per month, per year, no. So you don't really care, if in that Flex instance you are deploying 50 APIs, 100 APIs, or 150 APIs. No, all you have to care about is which is going to be the traffic of the Flex Gateway. So and I'm really excited to see the same move for the rest of the products, especially for the traditional Mule runtime. I think that is something that we're going to see very in the short term. I don't know if maybe in the next year, but I think that is the way to go. Is forget about all the stuff about the big cores and things like that, and move to the consumption model.
Yes, very true. So so I think MuleSoft keep on evolving and they keep on improving their product basically, right? So they are moving according to the market trend. What is the market trends and what is the customer requirement, right? So depending on they keep on improving or they keep on adding new components as a part of any point platform. Right? Yeah. So let me talk more about this management and the particular Flex Gateway. So like the universal API management, it's just a concept where you want to enable the API lifecycle for MuleSoft as well as for the non-MuleSoft API, right? So they have come up with the various product as a part of universal API management. One of the product is Flex Gateway. Then we have a API governance. I think yours has already talked about that. So as you are aware, like the Flex Gateway is a super fast, and it's a high performance gateway because it's an Envoy based basically. With Flex Gateway, basically you can manage any API located anywhere in the universe. It can be on the private cloud, it can be on the corporate data center, it can be on public cloud, or it can be the customer hosted, it can be on the bare metal, right? With a single Flex Gateway, you can manage any API located anywhere basically, right? So also it support any kind of architecture. Doesn't matter what kind of architecture your API is following. It can be microservices, it can be monolithic architecture, or it can be API-led connectivity architecture, or it can be any traditional architecture basically, right? It doesn't matter what kind of transactions load coming on your API. So it doesn't matter basically, right? And the last, it is a technology agnostic. So it doesn't matter what kind of technology, backend technology is there basically, right? So with the Flex Gateway, you can manage any kind of API, lifecycle basically, right? So what are the advantage we are getting with the Flex Gateway? Like you can use all the out-of-box capability, which is used by Mule Gateway also. Like for example, like API Manager, right? You can make use of your API Manager. You can make use of API security. You can make use of API policies. You can make use of API telemetry or metrics or API monitoring. You can use your API alerts, or you can also have a custom dashboard, for viewing the metrics and the telemetry with the Flex Gateway, basically, right? So I will tell you one of the story. Recently, I've implemented the Flex Gateway for one of the customer. So recently, I have a customer that the customer have APIs written in the multiple technology. They have APIs written in the AWS Lambda, and they have some APIs recently in the Node.js. They have an API in the MuleSoft. So this currently they are like creating proxy for non-MuleSoft API to enable the API management capability, right? And for this, they have to the API's proxy is consuming the cores, right? And they have a lot of proxy. It's not one or two proxy. They have 100 of proxy, right? So they want to minimize the utilization of the vCore, so they can use those vCores to the to the actual application instead of for the proxy. So we have suggested like a few gateway, and finally we discovered like we already have a MuleSoft in our ecosystem. Why we don't go for the Flex gateway, right? So then we have set up a Flex gateway on the Elastic Kubernetes service, right? And like on same Elastic Kubernetes service, the runtime fabric manager is also running. And from that EKS, we are managing from that EKS instance where Flex Gateway is set up, we are managing all the APIs basically, all the APIs. So when you are setting up the Flex Gateway on the EKS, you have features like auto scaling, so like you can like it also support various type of services, those kind of things basically. So so at the end, I will simply say like if you have some, if your organization have so most of the enterprise organization having the application multiple APIs written in multiple technology, and they might be using the multiple API product for managing the API, right? So that may lead to the technical debt in the future, right? To avoid such kind of thing, you may have to look for the single solution, single gateway which can manage all your APIs, right? So you can make use of this particular Flex gateway from where you can manage all your APIs. And with this Flex gateway, you can see all your API into a single pane of glass, basically. Yeah, that's my point of view for the Flex gateway.
Well, the only thing that I will add is that I'm going to do the training course for Universal API Management this week, and I'm looking at exposing IoT sensors, manufacturing data, statistical process control to feed data from probably an existing set of APIs into a data warehouse. So it fits perfectly with what Jose says. There are many industries where there's a lot of new information being made available, and how do you get it into the central warehouse, or how do you get it exposed into cloud systems?
Right.
And it's also another thing that is very interesting of Flex Gateway, is that it's very flexible, in terms of where it can be deployed. I mean, it can be running, for example, inside an Ubuntu box, as a normal Linux service. It can run inside, as a Docker container in Kubernetes.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of flexibility.
Yeah, one of the thing like Flex gateway doesn't require the mule runtime basically. So it doesn't if you want to run a Flex gateway, you don't require the mule runtime. So that is one of the good advantage with the Flex gateway. Yeah. So let me go back to next question. Now the very last, I think it's a last question. Oh yeah, very last question. You, what is one piece of advice you would give to someone looking to start their MuleSoft journey?
Yep. I guess in general, you really need to have a good foundation of integration. So it would be great to have that opportunity, because it's like, I'll make an example of, when you're investing to a crash market, you get more units, and then that will accelerate your investment. So it's the same thing with investing with MuleSoft. So once you have a really good foundation of integration, it will make much more sense when you're on it. So I recommend to start reading the Undisturbed Rest, which is a really good ebook. And then once you've done that, you sign up at training.mulesoft.com, and then you could take the free self-paced trainings like the Anypoint platform, Mule 4 fundamentals, and then you start engaging with the community. So like the MuleSoft meetups, and then you read through the blogs at blogs.mulesoft.com, and you join the events as well, like Connect, MuleSoft Forum, and all other events. So yeah, I think it's a really good way of learning when you're learning with a group, and that's why I would highly encourage everyone to be part of the community, because that's where I started as well. Like, I was just a spectator, and then Jackie encouraged me to speak and to to organize my own MuleSoft meetup group, which is really good. And also you get lots of learnings from the community that you can't really learn from any other platforms. And yeah, I guess that's my piece of advice in starting MuleSoft journey. And try your best as well to be part of the MuleSoft project, because it's easy to absorb this knowledge if you apply it. You get what I'm saying? So you start having the conversation with your manager if you're not in the MuleSoft space. Express your interest to work on a MuleSoft project, or even at least an integration project. And yeah, that's all, Jack.
Thanks, Joy, for sharing this. Anybody want to share anything on this? I think there is one more question. Anybody want to share anything on this, or I will go to next question. So Rajesh, I forget to ask you one question. How have you changed your approach to developing leaders internally? If you haven't, what is your approach? What new roles are you elevating to executive team?
Yeah. Thanks, Shaki. See, I think the MuleSoft in the practice, I was telling, right, I involve majorly in the practice for the pre-sales, pre-sales activities, consulting, and it's more on the high-level consulting on the platform setting up, or some RFE defense calls, kind of thing on the product to integration level, product evaluations. So what I could see is, at least I experienced, maybe I'm not too elevating, explain the roles, but what I experienced is the MuleSoft came and opened up that to windows to the multiple opportunities. One dimension could be your C4E. Earlier, where this the COE is very common word, right? Center of excellence, expanding the specifications in the integrations or APIs or your any technology, basically the COE. And there's a C4E is very specific to the MuleSoft platform, enabling the development teams, forcing that they name the roles there: C4E architect, C4E lead, and basically having the governance on the all your delivery things. So it is not just focusing on the product team. How do you enable the deliveries also? What they're promising from the sales point of view, the MuleSoft. So there in the practice, I see that there are a lot of opportunities. One thing in the sales again, recently they opened up their sharing the IP assets and all. GTM champions, delivery champions. So GTM is basically focusing on the sales. So earlier they used to have the pre-sales side, sales head, sales executive, but more on the GTM side, go to market. So how do you represent the sales side? Similarly, the delivery champions focusing on the architect roles. So it is not just about your technical or solution architect, focusing on the platform architect, or C4E architect, focusing on the governance, on the high level architecture, aligning to your enterprise. So all this could be some of the new things which I could have seen, I experienced in the practice. Similarly, the consulting, so which is not the new role, something which are always the existing one, but I could see a lot of enhancements, lot of changes that changing from one role to other role, like from consulting to high level consulting, where you focus on the not just on the platform evaluation, the sales point of view, do one level step extra and execute the things at the integration level and APA, align into the business benefits, not just at the technology end.
Right.
And
Right,
I
Rajesh.
see a lot more also over there. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So that's good, Rajesh. Thanks for sharing this. So I think anybody want to share anything on this? Okay. I think we have completed with the question. Now I have a last question. Anybody can answer. If anybody was interested from audience, they can also talk on this. So guys, what does empowerment mean to you? How do you empower the MuleSoft community? Anybody from audience can talk on this, and even any MuleSoft ambassador can talk on this. This is the question on the screen.
For me, empowerment's being able to help people. So the great thing about being the MuleSoft community is, if I don't know, I know someone who does know, or I can find the resources that can help people. So being able to give people accurate information to answer a question they might have, that's empowerment to me.
Yeah. So for me, like basically what I believe, like, so whatever technology you are learning, right? So whatever technology you are implementing, right, at a client location, you have to do the good solutioning for them and bringing the happiness on the customer face, right? And like that is empowerment for me, basically. So technology, like implementing the technology in the right way with the correct solution, and which can bring the happiness or the smile on the customer face, basically. And generally, I would like to empower the MuleSoft community. I'm already doing it, like by providing various resources, materials via videos, blogs, or like provide a guidance whenever they require, and just like just coach them, like just mentor them, basically, to empower them, basically. Yeah. Anybody want to share anything on this?
Yep, I could add on that. So I actually record the video for about the power of Mule, but I'll answer it here. For me, empowerment is, not creating more followers, but creating more leaders, because that's what great leaders do, right?
Correct.
So empowerment is helping others become successful too, because personally, like, it's no longer about me anymore, because I have achieved already what my personal goals. So now it's time to give back to the community, and that's why this year I'll just focus on mentoring students as young as 12 years old, teach them what integration is all about, and introduce them the stuff that we do in the MuleSoft space. So yeah, for me that's empowerment, like helping others become successful too, or supporting people that are passionate about on what they do. And as ambassador, like, I'm not gonna say that, well, it has a responsibility, but I just wanted to say that it's not easy or whatever, because that might scare you guys off to become ambassador. But for me, I would put it this way: being an ambassador is having this passion, like this burning passion. So it's not just about having a social pressure in LinkedIn that you have to write this blog or you have to do this thing, you have to be certified and all. It should be driven within you. Like, it should be something that excites you. This is something that I really wanted to do in life, and this is not something that what others will gonna define you. It should be driven by you. So yeah, that's for me empowerment.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So anybody from the audience needs to share this, So anybody who want to audience?
Hi, Jackie. Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
This is Meenakshi, and I would like to say that empowerment also means expressing the appreciation towards the efforts people are making. And talking about the MuleSoft community, be the meetup batches, we're already like appreciating. You all are already appreciating a lot. There are a lot of vouchers and training programs. Also, the meetups, you're encouraging others to speak up, to be the speaker, to enroll themselves for the mentors and all that. So like ultimately you guys and the MuleSoft community all together is like appreciating the efforts we are making, which is all together empowering us. So that's what I would
Thanks.
say.
Thank you so much, Meenakshi, for sharing your view on the empowerment. Anybody wants to share their view?
What is the question, Jackie?
So, what does empowerment mean to you? How do you like to empower the MuleSoft community, Mr. Siva Sahu? You can on your video.
Hi, everyone. Hey, Francis.
Hi.
Joe, Abhishek. Rajesh is there, but he is not turning on the video. Rajesh is not there. Okay. Hi, Mary. How are you?
Hello.
Long time.
Yeah.
Rayan, Rajesh, Ravi, can you please on your camera? I will take some pictures. I want to share that, right?
Let's take pictures then.
Rajesh, are you on the call?
Ryan is there. Hey, Ryan.
Hey, Shiva.
I think your camera shutter has been closed. That's why we can see just black screen. Okay, like Siva, you are saying something, right? Empowerment, like.
Empowerment. So, sorry, I might have not fully heard that thing. Can you please repeat that? Empowerment from.
So what does empowerment mean to you? How do you like to empower the MuleSoft community?
Yeah, I guess Meenakshi was mentioning that, right? That those. So empowerment, I guess. I remember back in 2017 when I was handling when I became the leader for this Noida and the complete Delhi NCR group. I was moderating those things, and I guess there was, some sort of motivation from existing community members that we should be exploring more on this new product. At that time, Mules was supposed to be, it was a new thing into back in 2016 and when 2018, I guess, when everybody started getting familiar in India, especially, and then worldwide, right? So I guess there we were trying to explore more on MuleSoft, and I guess we started doing certifications. We started hosting those meetups, and I guess there was a lot to learn from those meetups. And then today, down the line, after 6 years of experience in MuleSoft, I guess now when we are trying to give back to the community in terms of helping out people and resolving those questions in the community or doing those meetups on the very new topics. And I guess everybody here, like Francis, Joe's, or and Jackie is always there, as fantastic as always. And then Ryan is there, and Rajesh, Mary, a lot of people, right, which are who are contributing this to this community, and everybody has now, I believe, a lot of at today's time, I believe 80% of the population which comes to the meetups, they are certified, and that's a big achievement in terms. When I go back to 2017, when they were like 5 to 10% of people who were like certified, and they were learning though. But today it's like 80% of the population attendance. It's like they are certified. They're not only developer certified; they are holding MCIA and MCPA now. And I personally, in my organization itself, people who work with me, the subordinates and everybody, right? Abhishek is there, he knows, right? So we have tried to help out people and with certifications and everything. So I guess that is where you learn something and then you help out people with those things. That is where your empowerment comes into picture.
Thanks, Siva, for sharing. Thank you so much. Okay,
And also,
so
Jitendra, at some time back, you showed one statistics, right? I think 250 vouchers we have given it, right? Something
yeah,
like that.
more 150.
Yeah, whatever it may be, 150. I'm just telling you. Last week when I met with many people in Hyderabad, one guy came to me and said that I want to attend integration architect certification. Actually, my organization is not providing it because it is of 4.5 lakhs, right, in India, right? It's very costly. He's saying that he's ready to pay that. He's saying that I want to pay, I want to learn it, what to do? Then I said that, see, people don't know, right? I said that don't do like that. They can start, see, you just see. You attend some meetups, you get the knowledge at the same time you are giving the voucher. That means you are giving they have a high possibility of getting training voucher as well as the certification, right?
True.
Some people they are not realizing the what value we people are giving it. It's not about just trivia. Forget about, don't wait for the trivia, and just you are getting the knowledge in the 1 hour, and also you are getting just you are getting a voucher, right?
Right.
It's really great things. I don't see Jitendra, many organizations they're not giving it. They're indirectly saying that we don't have any voucher. They have to pay from their pocket, right? But
Correct,
community
correct.
is just, see, every week one meetup means minimum 3 vouchers are going up. See how much cost it is that people are indirectly getting. It's
True.
not, people should understand this. Yeah.
So
And
even
Guys,
it's
if
not just the monetary thing, I guess. It's also about the kind of support they have got from these meetups. Like, so we have been, everybody has been collaborating on with blogs and videos and whatever whatever possible for everyone, right? Like, I don't get a lot of time to create videos. Jackie has that potential to do those things on his time, and he has really done a fantastic job, right? So like Abhishek is doing blogs. I try my best to do what I can. So, but yeah, at least we all are trying, and we have. So as I said, Ravi, right, that back in 2017, there were like 5% of the people as an audience were certified. Now it's like 80% of the people are certified.
Right, right. Yeah, so that's a good statistic. Okay. So I think, yes, we can skip that CloudHub introduction for today because we are already late, and I don't want to waste people's time basically. So so I will just start with quiz within 2 minutes. Let me share my screen again. And guys, we have already have a recorded session for CloudHub 2.0. I will share with you that. So I've never expected this conversation will go so much longer. Okay. So guys, nominate yourself for the next meetup speaker, and you can suggest your own topic. We will definitely help you out to prepare the content. What's next? You can just tag MuleSoft meetups, and you can invite. You can join new Surat MuleSoft meetup here. Then quiz time. Okay. So guys, I will just start with quiz. Let me stop the recording.